for your life and fight for the best version of yourself, you become something stronger, something better. You become someone that you always dreamed that you would become.
Welcome back to our channel. I'm Justin.
And I'm Chelsea. Don't forget to subscribe and join our family.
The mission of our channel is to inspire, encourage, and inform you on how to be the best version of yourself.
Today, we're going to talk about how to become rebuilt in the midst of your season of brokenness. This is based off my book called I Am Rebuilt, which provides basic principles on how to become free in the midst of brokenness. I know that when we're in this season of brokenness, we at times like to put on a smile and act like everything's okay, when in reality, deep inside, we are hurting, and we are either not sharing it because we don't want people in our business, or we're crying out for help, longing for someone to come in and love on us. I know for me, my personal experience when I was in the military, I dealt with a season of brokenness, and I like to relate it with red phase. Red phase is designed to tear you down, to strip you from all that you were and rebuild you up to become the best version of yourself. This season is challenging, it's hard, it's not easy at all. But in the midst of it, you can learn a lot of things. I have learned more about my identity. I learned more about myself, the things that I can and cannot do. And I know that in your season of brokenness, you can learn a lot more about yourself. You can learn your strength. You can learn your weaknesses. You can learn the things that you never knew you could do. Because remember that this is only a season. Just like when I was in red phase, it was only one phase that was going to go to the next phase and the next phase. That you're going to go through different seasons in life that's going to build you up to become better than before.
And I think that's something that people in life, they don't, realize when you're living and just going through, your daily situations, your daily trials in life. You just feel and you just see what you're going through. But if we're able to have some manuscript like this rebuilt model that really helps us understand that, what I'm going through right now, it sucks, it's painful, and I may not have anyone to go to or to talk to about my situation, but at the end of the day, if you're able to realize that there's a bigger purpose beyond your season of brokenness, you will be able to get through it, because you are not alone in this fight of just spiritual warfare. You're not alone in this fight of figuring life out, making mistakes, and there's trial and there's error. So we've been through this as well, and we just want to remind you guys that despite the season of brokenness that we've all gone through in very different stages of life at very different times, in different ways, something that was something super significant for Chelsea might have not been something super difficult for me, but I've had my own seasons of being broken as well, and it's just super important to realize that this is a season of life, but there are things that you can do to get out of the season, but at the end of the day, there are certain seasons that you can't control. There are just learning principles that you guys should be developing or just acquiring as you're going through that phase of life.
So I want to encourage you that it may be hard, it may be challenging, you may feel like you can't get out, you may feel trapped, but there is a way out. The one thing I always remind myself when I'm in those seasons is that I may have hit rock bottom, but the only way to go is up. I can either stay down there and be stuck and trapped, or I can keep moving forward and become someone better. Because when you choose to fight for your life and fight for the best version of yourself, you become something stronger, something better. You become someone that you always dreamed that you would become.
Just to allow you guys to walk away with a few things to literally put into effect in your life today to help you as you're going through the season. Number one, identify that you're in a season. It's not a permanent position. However, there are certain people who allow their temporary situation to become permanent because they don't acknowledge that what they are doing and what the type of life that they're living shouldn't necessarily have to last forever. So identify that it is a season, and also understand that you can rebuild your mindset in the midst of the season. Start talking to people who have more than what you have, who have been through the things that you've gone through, people who can give you sources of inspiration to just have hope. On Instagram, follow pages that give you encouragement throughout your day. Get into a program where you're able to develop relationships with people who are doing things that you want to do. You have the ability to get beyond your current situation. And then lastly, spend time with yourself. Get to the point, like Chelsea said, you are able to really identify what your identity is. And when you identify what your identity is, you'll identify that where you are today in your season of brokenness is not something that should last forever. It should be a temporary situation. So identify that you're in a season. Understand that you can get much further than your season if you put yourself in positions where you're around the right people, the right stimuli to really get you encouraged, to really get you inspired. And then lastly, ensure that you are doing the right things within yourself. Self-care, self-love, to get to the point where you can get through your season of brokenness and rebuild in the process.
Because remember, in the midst of being broken, in the midst of your circumstances, you can become rebuilt and be someone greater than before.
Until next time, I'm Justin.
And I'm Chelsea.